Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th episode of Kotie's Kingdom. Today we're starting up over by the beacon that we got in the last episode. And I've got some really bad news. I have the bad omen effect on me, as you can see. I'm not going to run down to the villagers because I really can't be bothered to do a raid right now. So we're probably just going to keep it for the entirety of today's episode, as well as these smelly particles. I mean, that's coming from the haste. I thought beacons didn't give off stuff like that, but apparently they do. So in today's episode, we're going to start laying out and maybe starting to build the new kingdom that I announced 2 episodes ago, I think it was. I've already picked out the location for it, and we're basically mainly going to work on building the actual layout today, because I can't really get started before we have that. But for that, I need to head on over to the area so you guys can have a look at where it is. This is the area where we're going to be building the kingdom. I've got myself the banner from where I got the Batterman effect from. I just got ambushed from this forest, and I decided to kill him this time, even though I know we get the effect from it, but I can deal with that another time. We got another portal here, so I can get back and forth pretty easily, because it is 1,400. Oh, it is at 1,400 negative 630, which is quite a distance from our base, and it's not something I want to be running all the time. But I've got some materials over here, and a phantom membrane from when I forget to sleep in this world, because we live in a cave, so I never have to. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing a third-person time-lapse probably of the of fixing up this area first and laying out a lot of it. I'm gonna have to patch up stuff like this. There's so many like water spots. And then besides that, I also want to fix some of the terrain that doesn't really make sense. Like, I think this area leading downwards isn't really the best. It kind of looks like a giant tooth or something, this shape. I'm not sure. But we're definitely going to have to patch up some of these so we can get started. One thing that I did want to explain before we go ahead and get started is kind of what we're going to do in terms of the kingdom. So if we stand up here, I kind of wanted to sort of explain how this kingdom is going to work. It's going to be massive in the sense of spacing out a lot, like spaced out a lot. And then later on the line, we're going to work on custom terrain. We might even do that at some point in the near future, just so I can kind of get like a feeling of what the kingdom's actually going to look like in a finished state. But this area that we're going to be working with today is sort of like the like medium / lower class area, where there's going to be a lot of houses together. Some of them even like connected to each other. And then it's simply going to lead over to other areas where we'll have a giant castle and like higher class, as well as just a big market. And we might even have a market down here. And then if we can, over here on the left, down here somewhere, there is like a lot of water. We'd expand down there and build like a port area where we'd have another like fish market and so on. But that's for the very like that's far ahead in the future because there's no way I can build all of this really fast. My plans are kind of crazy for this kingdom, and I'm hoping that we can get very far with it. It is going to take a lot of episodes to build this and a lot of materials, because I haven't really built anything on the scale that I'm thinking before. But I think it will be a really good challenge, and since the name of the series is Kotie's Kingdom, then it must make sense to why we'd be building a massive kingdom. It doesn't mean that we're not going to be doing anything else, obviously, because I do need, like, let's say, certain farms or other projects to kind of work on to not burn me out on this. So that's just kind of like the whole idea. And as said, the main area that we're going to be focused on in the beginning is just kind of like this little lower class area. But as I'm saying, it is a big kingdom, which means although we're in the kind of lower class area, they're not going to have like tiny houses or anything like that. It is going to be quite nice, and like we're going to use a lot of materials on it. But I think what we're going to do, as said, is do a third-person time-lapse. I've got my camera account on this land world, and we're going to use that to kind of get more like an aerial view over it whilst I do it. So for now, I think I'll just let the time lapse run. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll see you guys once we've laid it out. And we're back looking over the beautiful area that we've got. Now pretty ruined by my terrible landscaping. It will be dealt with in the future. Right now I've just pretty much just decided to get all of the house framing done. It's quite a lot, as you can see, and this is only one part of the kingdom. We'll pretty much just build the same style of houses, and as I did say, it would be a sort of like lower slash medium class area. But the houses I didn't want to make too small. You can see they're kind of big, but once we branched off into this direction, that's where the entire castle area is going to be, with the more like upper class area where we have way bigger houses than these and so on. But I decided to leave in a few big houses where, for instance, this is one of them. Then one at the very end down there is one of them, and that's sort of just to kind of like add a little bit of wealth diversity, I guess, where some people could afford a little more than others, and I thought that'd be a really nice challenge to do as well. I need to find a way back up here. But yeah, I did run out of wool fairly quickly, as you could see in the time lapse, so I thought that we'd just get rid of it completely. And then I also added a few more house places up here as well, instead of a little bit more on the terrain. I would, if there's one thing I could change about building this, it would definitely be the terrain. Like, when I started, I just did all of it flat, and as you can see, I had to move all of it up a lot more when I wanted to add a little bit of levitation to it. But I think overall, it ended up pretty good. This is only the start, of course. We've only got the frame for different houses, and I did run out of cobblestone. I don't even have any. The next thing I kind of want to work on is maybe one house and a bit of the path. The path is kind of difficult to see right now, obviously, but the main thing is that I think roughly here and over here, or maybe even further back, these two lines will branch off into the next area, whilst roads like this one and leading this way, we got a few as well. We'll kind of just lead around the whole place so that you can like get into every store or every building. Though some will be stores, some will be just houses and such. But I think overall, I'm really happy with the layout of it. As said, this is gonna be a really big project, so I hope that you guys are excited for that. And then we're also obviously going to be working on things outside the kingdom, such as farms and so on. But that's way later on, because so far this is a massive project, and I think honestly, what's going to take the longest is the landscaping once to get to that. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into a testing world and kind of see if I can come up with a design for a house. Obviously, we'll have a lot of different ones, so I got to choose which one I want to do now. But yeah, I think I'm going to head into the testing world and see if we can design a house. I thought that instead of just showing you guys the house inside of inside of a creative world, I thought we'd rather take a look at the house inside of here and actually build the house today. So I wanted to talk about the block palette first, and as you can see, it's a lot of what I have in my inventory for this place. So it's mainly going to be spruce logs, but the strip version, as well as stone brick, and then just a lot of wood, brick, and even smooth sandstone, because I believe this is a new block and it looks really good. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is just go ahead and get rid of the the entire outline of the house. We're only going to do one today because, as you can see, guys, there are quite a lot of these places, and I don't know if I'm even done placing all of them. But yeah, so if we're having a window, I'm going to go ahead and place a normal stone brick, and then whenever there's not a window, I'll just place normal blocks. This is going to be like the main entrance. It's going to be a 5-block one. But then besides that, all I'm going to do is just kind of just build it like this, where every third block is kind of like a little section to itself. On the sides here, I've decided to make it 4 blocks instead, and that's just because of the dimension of the plot itself. And then we also end up with these kind of like 5 gaps here on the back due to the entrance over here. And on this wall, I'm just going to do one window, whilst on the other one, we're going to have a window on the side, and just kind of like change it up a little bit so it's not too symmetrical. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it 3 more blocks up on either side, and then we're going to go ahead and strip the logs like this, just to kind of like use a different texture. And besides that, I really like the new strip logs. They are so good. Now, for houses like these, it's kind of normal to have the bottom part of it be stone, just as like a supporting kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the entire bottom layer just out of stone. Let me see if I'm doing this correctly. Yep. So I'm literally just going to fill all of this up with stone like this, and then we're going to go ahead and add windows in between where the staircases are. So I've got white stained glass because stained glass is just, you have to use it. Actually here, I'm going to add doors instead because this is going to be the entrance. This house is going to have a double door, and it's going to be a little different. Some of them will have double doors, some of them won't. And then on the side here, I'm actually going to make it come out a bit. I think 2 blocks here. We'll do another block here. And I'm actually just going to replace this with stairs like that. And then on the side, I'm going to add some fence here. So it kind of looks like they have a little way to run up into the house. So I'm going to just go ahead and repeat this on all sides. And yeah, that's literally what I'm going to do. And hopefully plays it all correctly. You know, one thing that I did forget is scaffolding blocks, and I feel like I could have used them so badly right now. And then I also forget that I'm actually going to make all of these go up by 1, just so that the next part is a lot easier. So we're just going to hop around and place all that. And I probably should have stripped the logs so that I didn't have to do that again. These won't be visible on the outside, and that's sort of why I forgot about them. But they will make my job so much easier. So the next thing I want to do is just kind of go ahead and get a different texture in, which is what we have this sandstone for. I'm just going to cover it all the way around this entire build here. And just it adds a really, really nice color. But there is also one problem with it, and that's something we're going to go ahead and have a look at now. And that is that this does not look too good. So in order to fix that, I'm going to go ahead and come up, and then I'm going to add some blocks or some stairs kind of going out from these logs, and then add slabs going all the way across. So if I just go ahead and finish all this, and you can kind of see how it fixes the whole hard edge problem. There you go. It just adds a little color underneath, and it doesn't look too bad. I actually really like it. So I'm going to repeat the process of that around the entire place, and then we'll take it from there. The house is slowly building itself, and the next thing we're going to do is start on the next layer. Now that the sides are kind of gone, there's going to be some more detailing going into this, such as maybe a plant pot here or something. But I'm going to go ahead and just fix our little bridge going up here since I still don't have scaffolding block. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build just a few blocks up here. I'm going to start just by doing, I think it's 5. And then we're going to go ahead and add even more of this sandstone just going along this line here. It's just, it's going to keep like the kind of separation between the 2 different layers of the house. I don't think I have enough sandstone for this right now because it's still smelting in the furnace. You guys know, in order to get this new block, you have to smelt sandstone, and it's just a long process. But what I need to do now is build 3 times, and then another layer of sandstone goes above, which I don't have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on detailing the front a little bit more. So I don't like leaving this block on its own. So on this layer, I'm gonna cover it with slabs, and then we're gonna go ahead and build up 3 fences on either side. Now this is gonna kind of work as like a I don't know if you've ever seen it before, a little extra barrier / balcony kind of thing. And I'm simply just gonna go ahead and add a stair now. I've gone ahead and just prepared a lot of blocks here. I'm gonna add a stair on either side, and then we're gonna go ahead and take an upside down stair into a slab here. And that's just sort of what this is gonna be. And this is, I need to figure out what my scaffolding blocks are. And yeah, see, that's gonna add a little bit of detailing to the house. So I'm gonna wait for some more sandstone to smelt as well as go sleep, and then we'll go ahead and add this to the entire side so we can go ahead and get started with the roof. The house is coming along pretty well. As you can see, I've gone ahead and finished the 2nd floor, and now we need to start working on the roof. And I had to go back and get some more coal, and of course, once again, I've got my scaffolding blocks. It doesn't mean that we can't build a roof. It's kind of just almost the same style as what we've already done. So what I'm going to do on top is just add a line of spruce planks. It's going to give it like a little fine little trim around it. It's barely noticeable, but it still does look pretty good. The majority of the roof is just going to be made out of spruce, well, oak wood actually, and then there's a little bit of spruce in it as well. But yeah, so what we're going to do is whenever we come out to the corners with the pillars, we're just kind of going to repeat what we did down on the bottom. And I'm going to place myself some, well, there's a wandering trader down there. We'll have to see what he sells. I'm going to place myself some stair blocks, but then when I get to the corner, I'm just going to, with corner stairs, just go ahead and build around it like so. And then in between, which I'm just going to place a lot of slabs, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the front so we can move on to the side, because that's kind of like the tricky part, I'd say. So if I go ahead and just build around here, it's actually fairly simple now that I think of it. So I'm going to leave this be for now, and then the way it's going to work is I'm going to, above where the stair is linked, I'm going to place a stair facing this way. Oh. And then another stair facing this way. And on top of here, I'm going to place a stair. And then this design is actually pretty simple from here. It's just an upside down stair, a block, and another stair. And I'm going to do that until these they meet up. It's a tedious process, to be honest. And I don't really know how many blocks there is. I think we should be able to calculate it just based on this. That would be the center. Yeah. So on the center, I'm just going to place a slab and a block. And that's pretty much it. And now I just have to repeat it. And this is where the fun part comes in. Just placing a lot of slabs and stairs. Gosh, I could not talk then. And the reason why I don't really want to build the entire thing on camera, but I'm gonna try that again. The reason why I want to build some of this on camera is simply just because I thought I'd give you guys an idea of what the houses are going to be like around here in this part of the kingdom. As said, we're going to be branching off to multiple parts of the kingdom, and this is sort of just the first part, and it looks like yeah, it looks like we're good to go. That should be it. I'm going to go down and just see if we've done it right by just dropping down and having a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There is a bit more detailing that goes into it, but this is, as you can see, you'd think one of the bigger houses, but it's actually one of the smaller ones. This is only 11 by 15, I think, or 13 by 15, something like that. While some of them are way bigger, such as the one at the very end of there. I'm going to go ahead and see what he sells. I do actually need ferns, but I'm probably... It's like he heard me. Because I didn't bring any ferns, and that's what I'm going to put on the flower pots in the back. I've gone ahead and changed out or added a little bit of detailing in terms of that to make it a little different. And just not put a window here, but that's going to be flowers instead. But yeah, he sells that. I'm not going to buy it though, because it's kind of expensive. One for one emerald. I'm just going to let you roam around, and hopefully you'll leave your llamas here so I can get some new ones. I went ahead and mirrored one side over to the other, and as you can see, we've now got the roof pretty much in place. The only thing I need to do is place all the blocks that's missing, obviously. We got the blocks to sort of cover this area here. It's going to be straightforward, to be honest. It's just mainly going to be filled in with the sandstone block, but there is a little bit of a difference in terms of the window. I'm going to go ahead and make it, where's the center? Find a center here and build 5 blocks out. In total, and then I'm gonna build 2 up and make it sort of 3 wide, and then just 1 on the top, and then the rest is just gonna be sandstone around it. That's kind of how I'm remembering it in terms of the design that I have going on my other monitor. I've gone ahead and just put up the design on the other screen, and then I'm just trying to build it based off of that, and that's obviously what I went ahead and designed in my creative world. But yeah, that is pretty much what we're going to do for that side. There is some more detailing that I need to add out on here, which we can honestly just do right now. It's not really too much. It's just a few slabs that's placed to make it look a little nicer. One of them is actually right there in the center. And then we have... Oh, I forgot a block here. And then out from these stairs here, I'm simply just going to do something like that. And there was another block missing. I can't remember. I've actually just noticed that I built the roof a little wrong, and it's nothing too much, really. We're going to go ahead and do that. It's simply just up on the top. I built 1 block, and then the top part. I simply just need to get rid of that, and then put another stair here, and that's where the slab goes then. And then we have the block on top. It makes the roof a little taller. It still uses the same amount of blocks in the middle, but it does make the roof, as said, a little taller, which is a little nicer. And the reason why I noticed this is because some of the detailing is just literally to put a slab right there, and that's it. So that is now that part of the roof done. And then the rest of it, funny enough, is the simple part, where I just go ahead and plonk down stairs like this. And of course, normal blocks. And then I think it is right here on this side. where we place some spruce, and then on the top as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep placing these stairs here. It's not something I want to bore you guys with, because it's literally just placing stairs and placing more stairs and more blocks, and it takes a while. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the roof, and then we'll go ahead and have a look at the house once it is fully done. It obviously there's still interior to do, but I think we'll leave that for another day, because I have no idea what to do with that, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the house, and then I'll be back. I've been working on the house. It is the next day, and I will say this is my house. This is where I'm going to be living in the kingdom. I've got lots of space in here, more than I need. I think I love these things a little too much. This is my little AFK box. I could even go ahead and close it off so that baby zombies can't even get in. And this is my other attempt at an AFK box. It does work, but I like the windows, so I'm not going to be using this little composter trick. But yeah, the house is now done. As you can see, the roof has been finished, and it looks pretty good if you ask me. It is a lot taller than I thought it would be for a small house. But I think overall, once we start having a lot more houses in here, the kingdom is going to feel like massive, like a huge project. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. There is a little bit on the interior done on the inside, just a staircase up to the second floor. And then the attic is, of course, the next one I'm going to work on. But I don't think, as said, I will do too much regarding this. Just leave it with floors, maybe. Just because I do not want to spend most of my time working on interior design. But I think that is all I've got time for in today's episode. I quickly wanted to talk about two things. The first thing that I do want to mention is that my uploading schedule is bound to change. Previously, I was uploading this series every other day. But I've decided to kind of just take a little step back with it and upload on specific days 3 to 4 times a week. Just because I want to get a lot more stuff done on this world. And I feel like if I have to edit the videos and all that stuff, then every other day doesn't really allow me to do what I want to do. Such as laying out this whole place and building the house and so on. That has took me quite a long time. The layout took just, I think, about 5 hours. Just because I had to go repair shovels and all that, because we're not actually fully equipped for this kind of stuff just yet, so that might be something I need to work on. But yeah, I hope you guys are alright with the idea of a different schedule. If you have any specific days where you feel like an upload would be, or a video to come out would be good, then make sure to tell me. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is that I am going to be starting streaming on Twitch. So if you guys head down into the description, there will be a link to my Twitch TV channel, where we can play on this world and sort of just work a lot more on the houses in between episodes, because I do not want to work on a lot of the houses on camera, just because building on camera is something that is very new to me, and I will not be doing it too often, just because I find it really difficult to talk and build at the same time, and it's just making a lot less progress happen in one episode, because it does take 10 minutes or so of video time just to build one house. So I think we'll do that every now and then whenever we start something new or something really exciting, such as a house design. But a lot of this plays will just be the same kind of house in terms of style. And I feel like if I built all of them on camera, it would not be too interesting to watch. I'm kind of just going by this series as if I wanted to watch it myself, and I personally would not enjoy that. Whilst I'd personally just enjoy seeing the progress instead. So I feel like that is something I'd rather show you guys. I do not know why I walked up here. But yeah, tell me if you guys like the idea of building on camera, and then I'll be doing it a little more often whenever we come up with new designs. And I don't know why this tutorial keeps coming up on the right corner. Other than that, I will post a rough schedule of when I'll be live on Twitch down in the description, so that you can see when I'm live. I'll probably post a few different time zones in terms of the time as well. But that's been it for this episode. I hope you guys are excited for this kingdom as much as I am. It's going to be massive. Like, this is just the beginning. And it's already quite a lot to look at. But yeah, this has been episode 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. And goodbye. Have a good day.